The team with Kevlar and their USPs.
Yes, yes. A good start is required here for NRG on that CT side. If they get the money going right away, then who knows where we'll see them. But can they defend this upper bomb site here? The push will come in pretty quickly by Liquid out of the huts. The trading going pretty well for both sides so far. The 3v3 bomb needs to go down though, and Fugly is going to have at Nafly there, and all of a sudden getting a bomb down seems quite troublesome, but they did find a small window of opportunity to do so, although the remainder of NRG seemed to quite easily clean things up in the end. So it will be the 1-0 indeed for NRG, but money in the bank for Team Liquid.
Cirque had 2 points of damage done to his armor, which means he has to spend $1,000 to buy a helmet. Expensive times for him. That upsets some people, but Counter-Strike is a game of economy after all.
It does seem a bit ridiculous. I will admit that. I think Device was tweeting about it the other day as well.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with it.
It's one of those things that just kind of doesn't make sense. It's still in the game, but
it's a game. It's fine. Early flashes into the A site. Been made easier by Valve, more accessible, but no plant. Desperation play from Team Liquid. I respect it, but NRG don't. That's one of the cool things about the changes to Nuke is it's a lot easier for people. You don't have to watch so many YouTube videos to learn how to flash into A site. Just look at the thing and throw it.
That was also really interesting because that flash was so effective, and they were milliseconds away from getting the bomb plant. And the bomb plant would have mean a lot more grenades right now. They have a very few grenades. They've got the requisite smokes, but they have no Molotovs. They don't have enough flashes. So that bomb not going down was actually kind of a big deal. So they're going to have to get most of the work done with just the raw firepower. The initial grenades have been set upon the outside positions, as Cirque is going to find some good damage. Almost some more on Twist there. Doesn't find the dink, but he does take a pretty big chunk out of Twist. And Team Liquid will be going down outside. But NRG, I think they've got good tabs on the movement of their opponents right now. Just holding that tight formation and making sure they don't give up anything significant.
Daps is spotting towards B for the time being. It was smoked off earlier. He just threw a grenade here as well, but they weren't deep enough. Team Liquid. So you can see, it looks like Daps wants to be able to escape. Not expecting the repick there from Nitro. That's going to be an even personnel score now. There's a lot of time on the clock here for Liquid to play with. So getting picked off towards the ramp means that Fugly, he's got to find some frags here. He's got to stand his ground in this position next to Control. Nitro not expecting this position. There is the bomb as well, and he's not far behind, and he's got a duel of 12 HP. Easy kill for Fugly. Turns the round around on his own, leaving Taco alone. The play coming in from the ramp. He can get to the bomb. 30 seconds. He has some time to find some kills, but okay. The body being forced out of the way by the door, and surely he can't get the bomb down, or can he? Apparently he can. Forced away, and Ethan will get the kill. 3 plays surviving for NRG unless Fugly goes too close to the Molotov.
Yeah, and you can see, it was Jacob talking about the opening duels there from Nitro, and I really like that. The boost. You don't see it all the time. You can see a little boost here, and boom. That's not expecting the boost.
It's funny because that probably thought he jumped, which is why he didn't move away. So I think he was taken by surprise by that. Really nice play from Team Liquid. But it is 3-0 for NRG, the round they needed.
I also respect that we're seeing Fugly rocking the M4A1S, the silenced M4. There's a lot of players, a lot of professionals as well. They just hate the fact that the fire rate's so slow. It sort of means that you're less guaranteed some of the frags if you miss your first couple bullets. But it seems like Fugly's not concerned with the first couple bullets. And he got a 3K immediately. So that's a good start from NRG, the clean 3-0. Looking to convert that even further now as they are up against pistols once more. And there's no Kevlar, only a single smoke on Nitro, so should be a non-issue this round. So a really passive position. You can see he's effectively, well, he is in CT spawn. It was moved forwards in the newer editions of Nuke. Which that's a change that I did enjoy. It was like just a lot of extra running, it always seemed like, for some reason on Nuke. But you get used to it. So, slowly but surely, NRG are able to pick off these Liquid players. You can see Cirque by the forklift further back in spawn. And a few taps there, and he's been discovered. It's an interesting position because he doesn't actually necessarily need to frag these players. The threat that he provides is pretty enormous. The only issue really is the fact that he hasn't got a close teammate to actually finish off those players. Doesn't matter too much though. They will be rerouted elsewhere. Or maybe not, they're actually still challenging circuit. There we go. Finally, the pistol's doing something. He's trying to reclaim the AK. Eventually able to do so. It's a bit of a slow burner. This one, the bomb has been lost in the meantime, so at least best case here is really getting some damage. You don't want to die after time though. That would be a bit of a disaster, so he will force the issue and he'll go down. So 4-0, NRG really taking that one slow, giving some respect to Team Liquids and playing it passive. But now we'll move on to a buy round. We'll see the AKs back in the hands of Team Liquids. Full utility this time as well. So we might see a completely new look on how they approach this round strategically and tactically.
Cirque maybe heading towards the ramp with the sniper rifle. Indeed he is, with a player in support. Early smoke in case of a fast play. But it's Liquid making inroads towards secret position. There was a gap in that smoke and there are some CTs close. Not sure if they saw anything. Heading down to secret very, very quickly. And it was Daps towards B previously. He's over towards the inside of A, and Cirque's gone all the way down here. Not what they were expecting, trying to overwhelm Daps perhaps, and now they're trying to show some elbow, some deep Molotovs to force Cirque away.
Yeah, but it's still, I think, NRG have a very good understanding of, where Liquid are at the moment. Things are still sort of somewhat under control in that sense. And you can see that Ethan, we had to get some damage done again, playing this passive position. Instead of Cirque, who has the AWP now and is playing other spots, it's Ethan holding the outside position with that AK-47. At least will take down Fugly, who tried to assist Ethan, but can Ethan hold it down by himself here? Oh, spinning around there. The readjustments here from Ethan. It's looking a little bit awkward at this point, but he still looks good to get the frags, and he will. Nafly will take one straight to the face, as it is now on Taco's shoulders. And there's nothing he can do. 5-0 for NRG. They will defeat an additional buy rounds of Team Liquid. Spirit's definitely looking a little bit better in the NRG camp.
In 3 of the last 4 rounds, NRG have survived with 4 players. And only one has survived with 3. Which means that their money is very, very healthy indeed. And while Liquid is still looking for only their first round, that is going to be a problem moving forward. They're not even picking enough people in each round. They're not getting deep enough into the round from that perspective. See the admin work at work there?
Yeah, definitely not feeling great at the moment, Liquids, but they had an amazing first map. But it's one of those things, it's sometimes you can get off to a slow start, and that's what is happening here. So they just have to put faith in, their approach. We have Zeus there in the background, the constant, the rock of the team. They're giving them advice, keeping them focused. But again, in this series, the really scary thing to me is that we haven't seen Cirque fully awake yet. And once that beast truly is awakened, it's going to be very interesting to see how things pan out. And I think Mirage is where we might see him the most dangerous, so I hope we get there. That would require NRG to win this map, though.
Seems one of their players really messed up a smoke grenade, had to use an extra one, which was probably meant for the plant on the B bomb site. This is the smoke. This is actually almost a tell that Daps is the one playing B, because we've seen this smoke more than once now in this game of Nuke. So maybe that will have something to do in a buy round, with a buy round in future. Forcing more map control, but look at this funnel. They've got one flash of Nitro. How can he possibly use it? Well, the door is open, but the T's are moving elsewhere. Now, of course, the vents have changed, so CTs are not as compromised as they normally would be in these positions, not as exposed.
Oh, Daps is not having a fun time right now. He's got to look at like 3 different spots behind him, in front of him, up high to the window, but he'll still manage it well. Oh my god, Daps, you beast. 2 frags him, he finds the bomb, but his teammates will be suffering to the CZs in the meantime, but Daps may have done enough to alleviate the pressure.
See Fugly choosing what fights he wants to take, not going to fight with control, because trying to take that fight exposes him to both the doors on Nuke. You don't know, there are still 3 players alive here for Team Liquid, so that's not the hill he wants to die on. Don't have to take a fight just because you see someone. He will fight on his terms. They have the advantages, and time is another advantage. But the bomb has been planted on B. Now the pressure's on NRG. That's a great way to start things off.
Yeah, just 2 sets remaining. I don't know if there's a gun for them to collect. Ooh, Ethan almost caught with an aid. Oh, the peek comes in, but the CZ wins the battle. A 2v2 and a gun collected. Now Liquid's chances start to soar, and NRG need to somehow, oh, I was about to say somehow find a way out of this, but they just get stuck on the bomb, and that will be another round for Team Liquid, an unexpected one, but finally they do get one on the board. And it's much in the same fashion as NRG did on Inferno. You know, it's one of those sort of force buy situations or eco situations where you just manage to get the right kills, you get a bomb down, but the question really is, can they find a consistent approach here to the defense of NRG? Because NRG can find a lot of confidence, despite losing this round, in their general approach, which has been pretty flawless. As you mentioned, James, you know, they've survived with many players in a lot of the rounds that they have won.
See how these double snipers work out for NRG. Liquid changing the pace, not repeating their actions towards the outside. Maybe it's a bait. You see Twist has an angle on the silo looking directly towards Secret. He's expecting some over-aggression from Cirque. Maybe the smoke's going down or baits him forwards. We see Taco's made his way into the vents. Has that been detected by the CTs? I do wonder. Naps is on the hut, so he should be aware of this, but I'm not convinced that he is. Cirque being flanked now by Taco, and he's going to be furious about that.
How has that happened? That is really surprising. Ethan has the second AWP. He's trying to create a recovery here, but it's only just going to get worse. Nitro takes him out, and that's going to create a 5v3 for Team Liquid. NRG needs something quite special to save the day here. Not sure exactly what that's going to be or how that will take shape. They may even decide to save here. Their money sucks. How can they keep these guns alive? Might be the only prerogative for them at the moment. And indeed, we'll see them start to retreat towards spawn. So it is interesting because Team Liquid doesn't have the best economy in the world either. So there is an argument for them not even trying to hunt these kills. And we may see a gentleman's agreement, and the bomb may just explode, and we may see Team Liquid in T spawn and NRG back in CT spawn, or something of that nature.
Perhaps this is some momentum for Team Liquid, although, I mean, Taco is the game changer there. If Taco doesn't manage to get into the vent somewhat undetected, seemingly undetected rather, then I don't know what happens. Who knows how Cirque activates. Twist was in an interesting position, could have gone either way, but they found a hole in the defenses.
Yeah, I think Cirque, he fired off one shot, which was some kind of a Cirque-esque crazy flick shot. It did actually connect. I'm pretty sure it connected onto NAF. It's funny because when you watch Cirque do these flick shots, you can't ever see the player that he's flicking to, and it's so fast that it's hard to register without looking at the health bars that someone even was, you know, taking damage there. But pretty sure it was NAF. But as you say, 2 rounds of Liquid, they're starting to build something here, and that should start to raise their confidence as NRG. They're going to know that NRG are going to really struggle if they lose this round. They've spent everything now. They've got nothing left in the bank. So we'll have to see whether or not they can make this one go in their favor. CT side of a nuke is a very different beast to pretty much every other map.
Cirque looking outside from the heaven position with the AWP. Continuing to rotate his position, and he's somebody you want to avoid, so that is important for his team. But how did Liquid find their way into this round? Fugly with a flashbang, but it goes too deep, doesn't do the job. And that means the numbers game is going in that direction. Nitro is being picked off, and the Cirque sees the bomb on the radar, so that's a lot of information for NRG. But you see Taco is waiting, taken out though. No more late flank for the T side.
Yeah, I was about to say, Taco's lurking is really strong, sometimes from that door position. The trades will come in onto the bomb site, though, as the main push is challenged by NRG, and it's going to fall to its face. The bomb planted. 1v2 for Breeze. It's going to be a really tough one. Where are these 2 remaining players? He's going to tap the bomb, threaten the full hold. And there comes the first peak. The remaining player, Twist, he's got no health, but we've seen what he can actually do with 11 points of health. So with 23, I'm sure he's going to be just fine. Comes out for the peak, and he is far from fine. Breeze ready for it. Holding his nerve, really good stuff there from Breeze. NRG desperately needed that round. Again, if they had lost that one, they would be truly broken. But instead they get to stay somewhat assembled, James. But for how long is the question? Because Liquid are starting to find their groove as well.
Just a quick reminder, make sure your Faces account is connected to your YouTube account if you're watching at home, because there will be drops There have been drops throughout the weekend, and I think there are some juicy ones to come. If you're a fan of Juice. Oh, look at that, 250,000 just as I said that. Nice. Anyway, back into the action. Liquid have to keep this pressure up, but that's why Andaps have fallen, but the CTs have lost the A side. They've been smoked off. How do they get back into this? Molotov, look at the spread on that Molotov. That is very precise indeed, and it's being replenished as well with a combination from a HE grenade. That's definitely something to look at in a demo. Those are very purposeful Molotovs. They are not randomly thrown at all.
Yeah, and there's such a big difference. If a team is able to take a site incredibly quickly, you know, we see this on Inferno on the B-bomb site happen all the time. You know, you get those 2 picks on Banana, you're on the B-bomb site. One of the reasons why they're so terrible is for two reasons. One, rotation times on Inferno. Rotation times, that's not a problem here. But what is the problem is number 2, which is there's so much utility on the T side for that post-plant defense that they can just lock you out pretty much just forever with smokes and Molotovs, as we could see, in flashes. And so NRG recognizing that, just falling back straight away, no challenge at all. And they're going to have to try to do it with the saved weapons, and they should be able to drop for their teammates to get a respectable buy in this situation. Liquid's still 3 rounds behind, but it's starting to feel like they've found a lot of comfort here. They've made a slow approach work, they made a fast approach work, and NRG are not looking so stable in some of their 1v1s.
Breeze on the auto shotgun. Was improved for a tighter spread, but can he get close to his chosen position of engagement? Will be the hut door, the hut entrance. Look at Nafly on a fast flank here. Got to check for players on the roof. He knows close left is, there's no one there. I think Daps has given some sound cues away. CT vent needs to be checked, nobody there. Breeze moving into the hut. Maybe he realizes that the site's been compromised. He's just waiting. Such a big loss, a kill bonus on this weapon as well, but now he doesn't really have the desired range. Twist in position for a push, but he wasn't prepared. Looking towards the radio room. Down Breeze goes. A short highlight in a difficult round for NRG. Liquid continue the march to tie the score.
And it was that fast pace again, just really caught NRG off guard. And it's quite a smart approach from Liquid, you know, going for that A split with, you know, splitting out off of main. Very powerful if the other side does not have an AWP, a scout, you know, anything to really challenge outside. We saw that NRG put all the emphasis on the inside just because of that very reason, that they didn't have the right weaponry for the jobs outside. And full advantage taken by Liquid now as they go fast once again, this time against just pistols. It's looking pretty good so far. Some damage taken, but nothing too serious. Elige cleans up, and that's a very fast eco round. The 4K for Elige, 5 for Liquid now. They are 1 away from tying things with NRG.
Pad those stats, baby. No sniper rifle for NRG, although it hasn't really been lighting up the server on this occasion. Again, we have seen Zerg looking somewhat frustrated. You can see NRG's current, well, loss bonus came and went. Nice addition there. Bottom left of the screen, above the camera. Nice. So Daps trying to hold things down. Ethan taking the legs from Taco. Taco has been a nuisance in that position. I'm going to watch the demo to see how he did get down that vent. I'm very curious. Probably a smoke, but just want to see how it happened. Anyway, Liquid creeping towards the ramp. Fugly will back off. Pop flash just in case he is hounded, and Nitro will be the first of those hounds. He has made his way well away. Daps picked off on the outside. I think they saw the numbers around the ramp, and it's like, okay, let me try and make a play. But Nafly was keeping them honest near T-Red.
So we're seeing really good control of pace so far from Liquid. Lots of fast rounds, mixing in those slow rounds to make it really difficult to counter what they're doing with positioning. And all the timing might not work out here. Naf could be peeking onto Fugly. He gets both frags. Having really a very good day so far is Naf. Breeze going to have one player go straight past and can't get a single frag. It is a sad story so far for NRG. Team Liquid are looking very strong. Everything they're doing right now is working. And NRG are just, again, they're struggling to win the fights. And that's when you know things are starting to look bad, is when they're struggling on these 1v1s.
If you're fighting Nafly, almost everyone is going to be struggling. Now they'll struggle more with the pistols. NRG had a nice start, a 5-0 start, but now they look to lose the lead here. Liquid with the 5 AKs. Nafly continuing as he left off. After losing this round, should they lose this round, NRG will be, they'll get 3,400, so they'll have a good buy in the next round. How many more rounds will they proceed to lose? It's maybe a question in their minds as well as ours. Especially with the shadow of the first map looming large. Taco's position here, when you're on an anti-eco or anti-force buy, if you don't have most of your numbers in this area, then this is often where you'll put your T player because he has the opportunity to back off if there's a rush from ramp by the CT, so on and so forth. He has some corners where he can escape and reset the situation. Starting with a P250, just going for 1 kill. Breeze has an AK though, and he's got a dirty angle on A, so he could net himself 1 or 2 kills should they head in this direction. Trying to keep an eye on his 6 as well as his 12. Here they come. A double peek from the players. I did wonder if Nitro was going to crater there, but he will survive. 7-6 for Team Liquid. More damage than you would expect for NRG, but they need more than damage.
Yeah, again, it's really looking, again, like a struggle on the individual basis, and that's something that really defines NRG and really makes their style work. You know, you have the explosiveness of Cirque, but if Cirque's not going off, you've got players like Ethan and Breeze and so on, just really just delivering, and that's just not really been the case so far in this series. It is still a very close game, and there's still a lot of rounds to be played, so hopefully they can get a recovery. I just desperately want to see the mirage between these two teams. I think it will be such an amazing finisher. And you know, Liquids, they started off pretty poorly in this half, but they've managed to make it look really good. Again, Liquid, one of the few lineups in this tournament and in the top 8 that haven't really been afflicted by some of these roster changes of late. Of course, the last person to join the lineup was Taco, but he's been there long enough at this point for them to have good routine and comfort together. And so we find him once again back at the outside the Seeker at the stairs. Can he get more action than last time? Last time he got backstabbed.
He's been spotted now, but his teammates being lost at the same time. Thought he was good for it, but it was a liege after all. 3 versus 2. That's tapping the legs, but he's alone now. Too many targets, too many man. Liquid on 8, looking for number 9. And NRG won't have much to defend that with. Auto shotgun for Daps this time. Cirque going from an AWP to a scout. It's been a difficult CT half for Cirque. You do wonder if the T side will be any easier.
Yeah, I think we're seeing really good basics from Team Liquid. It's not like they're doing anything particularly special. It's just some solid fundamentals. I think something that Jordan said on the desk as well. Liquid showing some just solid fundamentals, and they're winning all their fights. And look at Naf. He's not just winning fights, he's crushing them. He's always getting 2Ks every single time in these multi-frags. Bit of aggression from Breeze though, out of the hot position into towards Radio Room, into lobby, is actually going to be successful. Nice lineup from Ethan as well, and all of a sudden the stars align for NRG, and we may see, finally, another round from them. It's been a while. But can they claim the last of the half, a 1v3 for Twist?
Scope concedes Cirque's position. And there's plenty of time for Twist. No more window in the heart. Now he has to ask, were those steps the same player or a second player? Sees the elbow of Breeze. Look at the peeking from the man. Made it very, very difficult to even fire a bullet. Simply teased. So it will be a close score moving into the second half. NRG 7, Team Liquid on 8. Nafly leading the charge with 13 kills. We'll see if he can continue on this CT side now. What do NRG have in store for their opponent? The P250s are coming out. Breeze has been made a raid boss, as has Cirque. Daps will have 2 flashbangs. Ethan with a flash and a smoke. Will it be towards A perhaps? Will it be through the roof? Ethan's going up. He's got one of these flashbangs. Where does he drop the smoke? Nitro with a HE grenade and a defuse kit on Nuke. I do wonder what he has in mind for that. He's on the ramp, so I guess if he sees a rush, he'll be deploying that, but most of the players are outside, getting picked off by Naf. Yeah,
we're seeing more HE grenades, I think, in general, across all situations. Soften up those players. Got to be pretty precise with them, though. Naf trying to take additional jewels here. He's found a couple players. There's the peek from Taco. Taco perhaps expecting that, hey, you know what? Naf is creating all this distraction. I can get a free peek. Nope, denied by Cirque. Looks like the masses will now find Elige. That said, though, it's still a pretty even situation on the trades here. 2v3 now for NRG. Nice pick off from Elige. He gets a second. And now things looking pretty troublesome here for Cirque. He's got the P250. It's a great gun for the job. But Twists will find him quickly around the CT container. And that will be that. 9-7. Liquid start off things well for their CT side, just as NRG did. The question remains, will NRG have the strategic prowess to defeat Team Liquid's CT side?
It's interesting, NRG were taking a lot of jewels. Obviously, for the most part, the USPs are at a colossal advantage. The P250s do change that, but there's only 2 of them on the 5 players. And one of the P250s got picked off fairly early on, which made things pretty rough. So here we are with Team Liquid on round number 9. Loss of Kevlar. Just 2 flashbangs here for NRG and a bunch of pistols. Cirque's got 500 in the hole. Apart from that, it's the full force. So what do they have in mind? 2 players spotted around T-Red. NRG kind of stuck in their positions at the moment. How do they come out of these duels on the better side? They're trying to use their numbers to their advantage, but there are players in main, players outside of A, and players in secret. And NRG have to be careful for a poke and a prod from any of those angles as well, so that might not work out for them so well.
Yeah, one of the issues with the Deagles is I mean, it can be great for these long-range headshots, for these, you know, for the first bullet, but the moving and shooting, not quite as good as a CZ. So it's hard to gain position. And now it's just 3 players left here. NRG will try to rush down Taco, but all he has to do is fall back. He's got the MP9. He's pretty good for the 3K here, as he actually does get traded out pretty quickly. Elige unable to help in time, but he will clean up the remainder of NRG. That's 10-7 now, as the full eco will be coming in now for NRG. And Team Liquid's economy is going to start to look pretty good if they deal with this round appropriately.
Yeah, this is a money-making round for Team Liquid now. I suppose Taco wanted to stay close with the MP9 in the previous round, could have forced the issue and gone forward. Nafly continues to force the issue almost every round. There's Taco, not checking a 6 though, but he's got a flying 180 to clean things up, and ill-equipped Daps can do nothing in that on that occasion. There's Ethan with a Glock, hoping for a headshot. But I don't think a headshot would kill Nafly or Taco. Unless he goes burst fire, of course. And there is burst fire. Taco down to 1 HP after the second burst. 5 players, though, do survive for Team Liquid.
That they do. It's exactly what they set out to do, and now it's up to the AKs of NRG. They have slightly more in the way of utility than Liquid did when Liquid were in the same position on the T side. We're going to see those outside smokes here, perhaps for NRG. Indeed, there are some initial grenades. Nitro tossing down a quick incendiary to slow the progress of NRG if they wanted to just rush down straight into secret. And slowing those timings down is really important. Controlling the pace of the T side, if you can possibly do so on your CT side, is really effective on Nuke, because the rotation time for you is a lot better than it is for the Ts. It's one of the... There's not very many maps in Counter-Strike like that. Nitro looking to find some information. What exactly happened outside after those smokes had dissipated? Well, that's what's happened. Ethan's crept into a very forward position, a 5v4 now for the NRG to play off of. What is the response from Team Liquid?
1 minute for NRG to make their play. Taco peppering. I think a nice headshot there onto Ethan. And Ethan's a bomb carrier. He can't afford to take that duel and lose. But where could they be going with the bomb in that position specifically? Maybe to heaven? Do Liquid think it's A? Surely NRG changed their plans now. 40 seconds remain. Bomb being thrown to a teammate as Ethan's on the high ground of A. Now he can afford to take some duels. Meanwhile, Cirque and Fugly cleaning house, leaving only 2 Liquid players. Just all map control being conceded. Breeze will finish things off. Just 1 kill for Team Liquid in that round. That was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, and that was an example of, if the CTs just sort of lose track of what the Ts are doing. We saw an incredibly passive approach after the smokes were pushed down. We only really saw an incendiary. Then it was just sort of no information whatsoever until it was too late. And so I would expect Liquid to be a bit more aggressive. Now, of course, we will see the actual proper buy where they have the AWP. There's no MP9s. And Nitro can actually get some damage outside with that AWP. He can threaten them. He can force out more grenades. He can slow down their pushes. All these things that are possible now, the AWP is in play. There's no AWP to respond for NRG, just AKs.
Nitro spotting some players. There could be a quick hop into the A site from outside. People will be warned. Twist playing the CT vent once again. CT vent and T vent. Moves from one to the other. Look at the aggression here. Elige is not here for the crisps. Oh, look at that. That is ridiculous. What a headshot from Elige. 2 players taken out now. Liquid taking initiative. They're all over the place. How's he got into that position? Circle clean him up. Collecting the bomb as well, very crucial. There's still time on the clock for NRG and they've got good positions. How on earth, as a CT side, do you defend when they've almost changed roles here?
This is really strong positioning. This could be what saves them in this spot where they have a man disadvantage. There's a quick... Oh, that could have been a kill. That maybe should have been a kill. I don't think Ethan gets another chance, and they're going to be wiped out in the approach into the bomb site. Ethan needed to get the insta-kill, but he just couldn't find it. And that is a much-needed round for Team Liquid to continue to have a convincing lead. 12-8 is now where things are for them, and if they win this map, they will go through to the finals, where either they'll play FaZe or Astralis. Getting closer and closer. A mere 4 rounds away.
Tactical timeout from Team Liquid. Hydration timeout, perhaps. Got some CZs coming out for the NRG team. They are investing in this round. You see the change of pace. It was quite significant from Team Liquid after the round prior. The aggression, pushing through radio room, pushing through ramp. But what is their play for the rounds to come? They've got a 4-round lead. They're 4 rounds away from winning this. What do they expect from NRG? There will be an AK, a Galil, a UMP, 2 CZs on the NRG side as they come into this round. Can they get into strong positions again, this T side, without losing too many personnel?
Putting that pressure on the outside quite quickly are NRG once again. There is the wall of smokes. Again, we see the same incendiary drop by the CTs just to... Again, it's just about pacing. It's about timing. Just, okay, they can rush down secret if they want, but we're going to force you to use a smoke on the Molotov if you actually want to have a really, really quick timing on that. And if you do that, we're going to spot it. So it's kind of a guarantee that Liquid can understand the sort of timings that NRG can have when they're going down secret. And it gives Elige an easier job of controlling the flow. The traffic. He's the traffic controller right now.
He's just dropped a smoker down here. Harder going to peek wide. They have got to assume someone is holding the angle because Daps plays the same position. Elige has not opened the door though, so what is his play? Stand and fight. He's got to get his bell rung immediately. Just the 1 kill for him. How many players does he spot on his def cam? There's got to be a rotation. Nitro moving to ramp from the outside position. Breeze holding down the control room. Taco, again, doesn't want to overextend. The door is open. If he goes to control, somebody could peek him immediately from that door. He has to be careful. Spotting a sliver of Ethan, perhaps. The Molotov will force him from his position. But Nitro is there. Breeze moving far too forward. The flick won't hit the mark. 3 versus 2. 30 seconds on the clock for this bomb to go down. Daps is on the wrong side of the site. Maybe he finds an angle. That's a very nice grenade onto Taco. Nafly rotating in the meantime. Nafly will be heard. Now Daps has found the correct angle.
Yeah, there's a good plant here to make things a bit easier for NRG. Daps and Ethan can play a variety of positions together. How do Liquid work their way in? They have so much time. Both players have kits. Bomb only freshly planted. And now they start to eliminate the positions of the defenders. Very nice peek, very unexpected peek from Ethan, very quick. But Nafly finds the trade. Where is Daps? He fights Daps. Oh, the spray's good from Naf. He has been so solid for Liquid all the way through this series so far, and it continues. That is such a critically important round. 13-8 now for Team Liquid.
Really nice work by Naf, and he knows he's doing some heavy lifting right now, keeping them out of the tight situations. And again, Liquid just 3 rounds away from victory, but with that plant from NRG, they can force by again. The AKs are coming out, and they did a lot of damage to Liquid in that last round, of course. Liquid only have 3 figures in each bank account at the moment, so if they lose this round, NRG could come charging straight back as long as they don't make a fatal mistake. Quickly on the outside are NRG. Storming outside, no smokes required, but look at the duels being won. 2 for the CT side. Man advantage, Cirque getting dropped as well. Now it's a UMP in the CZ, that's all that's left for NRG.
It is not too fun, is it, right now for them? These will be wrapping around, using the CT container to his advantage, and he'll even get the next one as well. Lots of frags for Elige. 27 kills on the board for him at the moment. It's pretty nice performance, to say the least. He is the cleanup connoisseur, James.
Really nice work by Liquid. And finally, NRG are put on the pistols, and what a time. Ecoing when they know they're going to be facing match point following the conclusion of this round. And I expect much more. What they couldn't do with the force buys from the last 2 rounds, surely they can't do with an eco round of pistols this time. Liquid showing no mercy. Nafly with ruthless aggression, baiting for his teammate as well, and popping out with Nitro Run's distraction. There's 1 shot for Cirque, but the gun is too far away to collect, and now he's dead as well, which is an extra problem. Breeze just looking to, again, the money's not amazing for Liquid, so if he can get even 1 more kill, it may make a difference in future. NRG have won a single round in this half.
There it is, the sound of match point here for Team Liquid. And it would be a round that would bring them to the finals again, and they would have a bit of a breather as they can then await the winner of the following match to find out who their opponent will be. But definitely looking pretty good today so far. But can NRG put a wrench, a novelty-sized wrench, in the works? We have an AWP for Cirque. He's not got any utility, but his teammates have. So at the very least, they go into what could be the last round very well equipped to give it a good chance. Not as much presence outside as they have typically been stressing. Instead, going for that ramp push, and Taco's going to let them walk straight in, but just trying to control it once again. Making the calls, adjusting the formation of the defense. You see he's got already teammates ready to help him out on the low grounds. And they'll allow NRG to sit on ramp for the time being.
He's in control of ramp for now, waiting for somebody to look for some information. So over peak, peak over peak, but Liquid are quite content with their positions. Again, they know what they've conceded. Taco, the only person having a look. You see Ethan asking questions, but Taco knows they don't know he's there yet. He's just trying to find a reaction from the CTs, and Taco will give it to him. He's been really good with that kind of thing, both here and on Inferno. The pop flash, just peeking one side though. Again, Taco being alive is a problem, allowing his team to rotate, buying some time, causing some pressure, but eventually he goes down 3 on 3. We need to see some rotation from Team Liquid on the A side, but that bomb still needs to get planted and running out of time. Oh, Nitro making a hero play, not quite working out for him though. Twist and Nafly remain.
Definitely looking tough, but Twist will start things off pretty well. 2v2 now as Liquid look to make this work, and some nades will start to sail in. Some time to work with. Very weak Breeze. Oh, leg spotted, the knees exposed and taken down. Twist now will reposition, looking for Cirque. Cirque finds their headshot. 1 more player to go. Health doesn't really matter at this point. Some good damage done by Nafly as he puts the HUD onto Cirque. The flames as well, down to 9 points of health. The bomb is being tapped by Naf, and that's the frag. Team Liquid are going to be through to the finals of ECS Season 5 here at the Wembley SSE Arena, where they will await the winner of FaZe and Astralis.
And who better than Naf to defuse the bomb there? That was a big performance from him on you. Keep got a